Welcome to Hard Hat Talks podcast. I'm Chris Greiner, your host, and my man on the wheels of steel, Sammy V, the Dr. Dre producer of podcasts. Today we got my man Jesus Ruiz. I was going to try to say his whole name, but I let him say it. I can't say it. I just know him as Jesus or the owner of Prestige Worldwide Concrete. What's up, Jesus?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Good, man. Appreciate you coming, taking the time, bro, to meet with us. Um, it's good to get all different types of businesses in here from people just starting out, people that been in business a long time. How long you been in business?
I've been in business with Prestige for about 3 years.
3 years. Awesome, man. Um, how does working for the cartel and owning your own concrete company go hand in hand?
Well, I'm pretty busy in between both.
I love you, man. I had to throw that in there, man, because I knew we joked about it one day, so I had
Yeah.
to throw that in there. Um, no, man. What was your first job in concrete? Who'd you work with or for, or what'd you do?
Well, my first job in concrete, it was concrete and masonry. It was with my dad's boss. His name is Bill Shelton. That's where we started off, and he did both. So
And if I remember, Bill did just like the they built the
underpinning.
underpinning.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bill, man, he used to have a wad of cash and buy mixers, man. That dude was a legend, man.
big time.
Big time
Yeah.
legend. Did you grow up? And I mean, I guess was your dad always doing that, and you grew up seeing that the trade, or
Yeah, I grew up in it because it went from my grandpa, from my uncle, my dad. They've been in the construction business all their life,
yeah,
since they got in here, and I pretty much, I had the pleasure of school was out. He'll take me to work regardless,
yeah,
instead of being at home by myself or with
yeah.
my mom, I'll be over there with them.
So you were learning early, man.
Yeah,
Now, were you learning concrete, brick, stone, everything, or just
just brick mostly and
yeah,
some concrete when we had
yeah,
concrete and brick at the same time.
yeah? Um, who mentored you early? Like, who was your biggest influence in the game? Was it your dad? Was it Marcos, Bill Shelton? Who?
It was mainly my dad, but when I got into the concrete business, that made
Yeah,
me start working my way that way was Marcos, and
yeah,
that's my dad's brother.
yeah, yeah. I know Marcos a long time, man. He's still in the game. He's
Yeah,
legendary, legendary.
yeah,
You
he's
know,
still going.
I think he's gonna do it till he's like 100, man. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. So what made concrete, I guess, click for you other than the other trade? Like why did you like it better than the brick or block or
Well, the brick I saw it was the same routine, same thing
yeah,
at a job site, and in concrete you have a little bit of everything. You
yeah,
do all kinds of stuff. You get to do curb, you do some patios, you do some slab, or footings and stuff like that. So it keeps you busy, and you're not in just one job site
yeah.
every day. Every single day is the same thing, just repetitive.
Yeah, just laying brick by brick by
Yep,
brick. Yeah, yeah.
and it's all day.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I could see where that would just be like almost like working at a factory, man. You're like, you know what I mean?
it basically
I
is.
mean, I guess,
No, it is
yeah,
because you do
yeah,
the same thing. It doesn't change.
yeah, yeah. Um, I guess working with these guys and doing it for so long, what was that moment where you were like, okay, I can own my own company now. I think I'm ready, man.
Well, after like getting opportunities to work with other people and seeing how they do it, made me wanted to try it, to be honest. And I was like, maybe try something different. Maybe make a little bit more money. Once you
Yeah,
dedicate your life to someone for like 8 years,
yeah,
you want to start exploring other things. And
yeah,
it was hard though.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's some of the questions, man. I got for you is like, I mean, I've kind of seen it, I guess, going out on my own with some guys is like, a truck and a trailer and a fence, man. It's like you're taking a leap of faith and a chance on you're betting on yourself, I guess, but it's like you got to have some kind of belief and hard work and drive to do it,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I guess you know, early struggles of owning your own company. What were they?
Well, not being known,
Yeah,
that's a big struggle because you got to figure out how to get clients,
yeah,
and no one just calls you out of nowhere if they don't know you
Yeah.
at all, and that's a hard struggle because you got to keep the guys busy, and that's one of the struggles is keeping the guys busy when you're first starting.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be you and someone else trying to bust out the work. That was one of them. Getting word of mouth, getting
Yeah.
my name out there. That was the hardest.
How'd you do that? Or did was it just like, hey, I'm gonna start and it's just gonna be me and a skid steer and a friend of mine, or how did you do that?
Yeah, it was basically me, a small truck, a skid steer. I had that before I had the company and stuff, because I already had the bigger picture on the way,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's awesome.
I just started caring about doing this every day. I couldn't. How can I explain it? I couldn't come back down from where I started. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were looking to get better and had bigger dreams and just staying as a working for somebody for the rest of your life or whatever, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Um, what are some mistakes that you made that I guess have kind of shaped how you work hard now, but that you could tell others kind of starting out, like I guess starting their own business. What are some mistakes that you'd be like, all right, do this first before, you know what I mean? Like I know starting out for me, I would say like, you got to have cash flow. I mean, you got to have money. I think to get started. So you had to have like, did you have your money right when you jumped in it, or
Nah, I didn't have my money right at all. I just took a big leap of faith, like
yeah,
you said.
yeah,
I started off with some cash, but not a whole lot, or went to go get a loan neither.
mm-hmm,
And most of the mistakes that I made them in other companies because you're learning as you
mm-hmm,
go. And I've seen other contractors do this, and they, mistakes, but I didn't commit them because um, I took all that into consideration because I saw this is what I wanted to do. So I remember things,
yeah.
and
So you had already made the mistakes previously at other companies, and you're like, now I know not what not to do.
yep.
And tell me something like, what would a guy who doesn't know, what's a mistake, a common mistake a guy makes that you're like, man, we got to do. I know not to do that on the edges or cutting too early, or I don't know. Just I'm just throwing stuff out here because I don't pour concrete. But like, what are some common mistakes that you see guys make, maybe even that you hire?
Well, some of the common mistakes is well, there's a lot to it in concrete because there's the weather. Some guys will try to risk it for the biscuit, trying to pour before the rain gets there, but you never know with this weather. It'll sometimes come forward and then it'll rain on you, and then you got to go get plastic,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's like more money wasted there. And some mistakes I've seen is like guys trying to get in there too early and it's a little wet, and then you got to go in there and fix it up and stuff like that.
yeah. I
It-
make sure I write that down. Risk it for the biscuit,
yeah.
just so you know that. That's my man Jesus copyrights that. Risk it for the. I'm a T-shirt,
Yeah.
prestige, and then on the back, risk
Biscuit
it
for
for
the
the
biscuit.
biscuit, dude. I love that. I guess what was a moment, either before you got to your own company or when you started, and you were like, quality matters, man. You know what I mean? It's like I just ain't going in here trying to make the quick buck and move out. I want to continue to do this, so I got to do a great job, so people are gonna call me back or use me. You know what I mean?
Well, quality always mattered when I grew up learning because I'm one of those guys that like to do my job once. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't like to be yelled at because back in the day you get yelled at or,
Yeah.
hey, you did this wrong. You got to go and back and fix it,
Yeah.
So ever since then, I mean, no one's perfect. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I really care about my job because I like to leave nice things. I like my work to stand out the most
Yeah.
than to just come and slap some mud in your yard and that's it. And let's go home and call it a day and collect a check. It ain't
Yeah.
about that. It's about leaving like landmarks and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Make your work stand out different than everyone's.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's, if somebody does a quality job, I don't know how you couldn't succeed if you stay on that, right? If you stay doing right. Um, what? Yeah. What? I guess what? One of the things we talked about, like getting work. How do you get work now, or how do you? I know word of mouth is where it's at, probably for you and a lot of people. But how do you? Is that how you get all your work, or recommendations of word of mouth? Do you do any sales yourself, like you're going around calling jobs or people and trying to get work?
Well, I tried most of all that stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
giving cards out, putting them on the side of the mailbox, knocking on doors and
Yeah.
stuff. Some of it works, but mostly everything I get is word of mouth. I
Yeah.
really don't advertise it at all,
Yeah.
like nothing. Where I've gotten it is because of word of mouth, building good relationships with a lot of people, people in the business as well, and people that I grew up with that were older in the game, they're already said they'll recommend you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really word of mouth for me that
Yeah.
gets me a lot of work.
Do you have anybody ever subs work to you, like you said, like old school, like I can't get to it, but I know this guy does quality work, I'm gonna hook him up. Do people, you ever get that?
It's really really rare
Yeah.
because everyone's trying to do their own work and get as much as they can as well.
Yeah. Now, do you you're the estimator, you're doing work, um, bookkeeping, you're the salesman, you're doing all that. I know your wife probably helps you do the some of the books and stuff like that. Is that correct? It's like you and her together.
Yeah, my wife does all the
Yeah.
bookkeeping. She handles all the calls.
Mhm.
Um the bills, the accounting, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just go out there, bid the jobs, and then I'm the laborer. I'll go out there and do the jobs and finish them and close them.
Yeah.
And she handles the rest because it's too much for one person. You got
Oh,
to at
for
least,
sure.
have someone to help you out. And that's like my better half right there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Um, building your team, like I know how hard it is to build a team, to hire the right people, to find the right people. Uh, how you do that? Like how do you find you friends of friends of friends, word of mouth as well, or you ever put ads out, or how you finding good people?
Well, since being in the business, since I've been out of school, I didn't finish school here, so ever since then, you meet a lot of people through the years,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see how they work and stuff. Some guys work really good, some guys need a little push, or you separate what's gonna work in your company, and they ventured off on their own as well, so they come with some skill sets that you might need, and every company here works different,
Yeah.
so I have guys come out, they're really good, some guys are good, but there's things that they need in my company and that I show them, even though they already know concrete, I'll show them what is finesse and quality. That's what I show them.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. My man's showing the finesse. Hey, I told you Jesus was the real deal. Don't you know what I'm saying? I knew he was. Leadership, man. Have you learned that over the years? I mean, learning to lead people, man, that's a whole different skill set. And I mean, I'm still learning that to this day, right? That's tough to lead people to follow you, that want to work for you, that want to do the work like you want it done. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that? How do you lead well, or how did you learn to lead well?
Well, I've learned that you got to treat the guys good in order for them to take care of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take care of them for them to take care of you, and everything's not just yelling. Everyone makes mistakes.
Right.
If you make a mistake, we're gonna fix it. And we show you how to fix it, or I show you how to fix it, and I tell you don't do this next time, so it won't happen again. And you stay away from it versus thinking it was right, but it was wrong.
Yeah.
And it's really really hard to be a leader because you have a lot of emotions into play as well. People have problems and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might not be their day, but you just got to take it as it comes, and
Right.
you got to separate sometimes work from home and dedicate yourself at work, and then that's when things come out a little bit better when your mind is clear.
Yeah.
Some people come here to clear their mind at work.
Yeah. You got a good demeanor, man. I don't see you get mad, but I feel like inside you could probably get mad, man.
Oh no, I get mad.
Yeah.
I get really mad when they push me.
um, you know, saying that leading, do you ever have like more jobs you got more than one job at the same time? You got a guy that you've trained and can trust over here on this job while you do this job, or you want to be hands on every job.
Well, I'm hands on
Yeah.
every day, all day at the job. I don't leave at all. I stay there because, like I said, things got to go my way and done my way. But I do have a foreman there that I trust.
Yeah.
Well, mostly everyone I have there are good, responsible guys. They're
Yeah.
all like foremans there. They already know the deal, what's got to get done, what's gonna get done, and how things have to get done
Yeah.
in a certain way before we head out. So there really isn't like one foreman. Everyone, knows what they got to do.
Everybody's got a job to do. As long as they do it, we gonna make it.
Yep.
I know this. I know you got many projects that have tested you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this no more. Is there any certain projects where you're like, man, I just want to get through this one and on to the next one? Anything that like you can remember, you're like, bro, I don't know what I got myself into here.
Yeah, I've gotten a project maybe like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. It was like 100-yard stamp job. That had me nervous
Whew,
because,
that's a big stamp job, bro.
well, yeah, you showed me the stamps and we had to order the stamps and the border because it was like a whole different kind of stamp
God,
and
I remember
design.
that job too. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that one had me nervous because there was a lot of at
Yeah,
stake there, and
yeah.
especially when it's stamped.
But it turned out looking beautiful. I remember seeing the pictures, and it had you worried, but it was worth it at the end.
Yeah, it was worth it at the end, and it was a good experience,
Mhm.
to get that out the way.
Would you say that was a job that kind of puts you on the map, like with some people of hey, this is my work right here. You show it to them, they're like kept getting you jobs, or is there anything that you can remember, like whether it be a high profile job or something that kind of took you to that next level, or it made you know, and it might be that job where you're like, I can do bigger jobs. I can make stuff happen, man.
Well, not necessarily that job, but that job gave me a lot,
Confidence or whatever.
yeah,
Or yeah,
confidence and a lot of clients in that area as
yeah,
well. And I felt like if I did that job and it came out perfect,
yeah,
I can really do pretty much everything.
yeah,
There's a limit to everything, and I think we pushed it at that job, and it came out well.
yeah. There's like nothing. There's nothing that you felt like that you couldn't do.
Yeah.
I know you guys offer grading and concrete. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, talk about that, like how, you know, some guys just they don't do the grading, they just do concrete or whatever. So how does that set you apart? Like, because you kind of got the, hey man, I can do the grading, I can prep it, I can grade it, I can form it, I can pour it, I can finish it, I can stamp it. Like how'd you get to doing that? Or you just said, well, I got to be able to offer more services than just this.
Well, since my family grew up in the construction business, we
Mm-hmm.
had excavators, bobcats, and stuff like that, dozers and stuff, and they had a place where we would leave the machines there, and I'll mess around. So I started doing that. I started getting into the grading. It was like really easy for me, natural. Like I liked it and stuff. I enjoyed it, and then I figured since I'll do grading, it's the same thing as if you do concrete because you got to prep for the concrete.
Right.
And so we do preliminary grading, rough grading, final grading, and stuff like that. We build pads and stuff. And then we get the pleasure as well to do the concrete after. So we basically start the foundation from the bottom, the new constructions and stuff like that. We do some clearing and stuff. That's what grading falls into as well.
Yeah. You dig, I guess you dig the footings and everything
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we dig footings.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that just like, I remember some of the bigger companies, Wayne Brothers, and then I feel like Ace does this too. It's like where they used to do a certain thing, they added like, hey, we'll grade the job, we'll do the footings, we pour the slab. I mean, they do the polish. They got like all these services combined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, why wouldn't you want to hire them? Because they do everything, instead of hiring a grader and hired this guy's digging the footings and this guy's pouring the slab. I mean, these guys do it all.
And most companies want that. They
I
look
feel
for
like,
that,
yeah, it's easier on the,
or people look for that as
yeah,
well. They don't want to be calling this guy
right,
for
right.
this and then calling this guy, and then it keeps you busy in the field of certain things. You do some grading, then you do the footings. It keeps consistency going.
Yeah, yeah. Another question I got, man, is how do you? I always think about this. How do you price job? Like, how is everybody pricing? Is there a market rate? Is there everybody's getting this square footage price? Because like me, in my business, it's like I could be here at $50, then you got a guy at 150, and then you got a guy at 25, and it's like we're all over the place because there's nothing. If you call or you look at Lowe's and Home Depot, they're pretty tight. You know what I mean? Where our market, man, we're all over the place. I don't know about concrete. How do you get that price?
Well, the square footage, there's really no square footage to it. I mean, for the bigger things like big slabs and stuff, or bigger companies that are already established from like 30 years plus,
Yeah,
they have a square footage per
right.
foot.
That's right. They're doing more flat square footage price. I guess yours is more. Is it per job or is it per?
It's almost per job,
Yeah.
but it's kind of hard to explain it because everyone does it really different.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I was just kind of like, you got to know what it costs you to bring all your trucks and your people and this for a day and whatever.
Yeah, you
Kind
got
of,
to take into account there everything you take, like
yeah,
trucks, fuel, skid
yeah,
steer, your time,
yeah,
and what materials you're gonna need there.
yeah.
Because sometimes it's every job is different.
Mm-hmm.
Every piece of land is different. So sometimes you might build up a little bit. You got to bring in some gravel. Sometimes you might get them easy. You got to flat. You charge a
Right.
little cheaper and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever have to do like I hear it on commercial jobs? It's called when you do the not the punch list. What's it called? Where you have to do you have to add something.
Change order.
Change order, yeah. I couldn't get it out of my head. So, like, do you ever have to do that on a residential side? Like, hey, we're gonna have to do this because we hit this. You know what I mean?
Well, not really, because when you go to give an estimate, you got to look at all the variables. You got to
Mm-hmm.
look at it. Every house is different, like I said. You got to look and see the entrance way. Is it small? Can you get a machine? You're gonna do it by hand? Are you gonna bring a bug in? Or and then you gotta, when you do this for a long time, you kind of get a feel already how much stuff you're gonna need, like fill,
Mm-hmm.
and I go according to that. But when I do a change order, I let the homeowner know, hey, and I explain it to them and I show them, hey, we're gonna need probably a little bit more dirt or some more concrete because of this obstacle. But in
Mm-hmm.
order to make it look good and stuff like that, we got to do it this way, or it's not gonna come out to your expectations. You know what? Because I deal with a lot of residentials.
Yeah, yeah,
When the big companies, you place a change order, you talk with the super, and they'll change order, and you charge what you got to charge for what's got to be changed.
yeah. And that leads into me thinking, working with residential customers. Are you majority residential? Or you do both, residential and commercial, but
I'm mostly all
yeah.
residential.
Now, dealing with those customers.
Hmm.
I know there's probably some Karen. They say Karens is a name, I think, but like, some Karens out there that be like picky and this color don't look like it was supposed to or whatever. So how do you like dealing with? I mean, I know residential is a good business, I think, but how do you keep it straight when you got some little difficult customers?
So being in the business, you meet a lot of people,
Yeah. Oh
and,
yeah.
and you meet a lot of characters. So you got to have patience as well and be professional as you can. And
Yeah.
I've had really really picky customers that they want they want it picture perfect, but you
Yeah.
gotta, when you go and give an estimate, you're gonna tell them, hey,
Yeah.
these colors vary a little bit within
For sure.
time, and you like
For
to
sure.
you like to disclose all that stuff before
Yeah.
you do the job. And then there's just some people, when you go and give an estimate, if they come out with a whole list like that, you might want to stay away from it, or you got to be
Yeah,
careful and talk to them and give them real expectations.
yeah,
Not sell
yeah.
them not sell them something and you don't deliver.
Right.
You know.
Come out with a list like that, you're like, let me check my schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might be backed up for like 6 years. Yeah,
I've done it once or
yeah,
twice, but I
yeah,
like to deal with everyone because
yeah.
those are
Sure,
challenges.
sure, and that might be what you like, man. Um, so we're here in the winter time right now. We might have some snow or whatever. How do y'all like? What do you do during the winter to stay busy? Or, and I've always heard this. A lot of guys make your money during the year. You prepare for the winter in case it snows, where you set money back. But do you do any of the snow removal or anything like that?
So for winter, like you said,
Yeah,
we prepare for the worst
yeah.
through summer, spring, and fall.
Mm-hmm.
We're always busy, wide open. But when winter comes, we pour, but we don't pour at a certain temperature. And
Yeah,
especially if it freezes overnight and it wakes up really cold, we just rather call it off. There's times that we've been home for 3 weeks, or
yeah,
which I keep the guys busy. Sometimes they'll come and clean the shop. And if it snows, every year it snows that they call for some snow, we clean all the parking lots. We got like
yeah.
12 shopping centers
Nice.
that I call out to, and we build a relationship. And I stay busy in the winter
Yeah,
regardless.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's real good. Can I get a free parking lot?
yeah. We'll scrape
All
it
right.
up.
Yeah, I love you, man. Appreciate that. No, I wonder about that because I know like it's tough when if it gets a certain degrees. I talk to people. I think it's like 40 degrees.
32.
I mean,
Anything under 32, you can't
but so
pour.
y'all do pour at 35 or something like that?
Yeah, but as long as it's 32
Yeah.
and stays like that overnight,
Yeah.
if
Okay.
it falls under 32 at
Then you
night,
don't.
you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. Um, man, a little bit of wisdom from you since you've been doing it. I feel like do it right the first time. Don't cut no corners. Set it up right, do it right, and quality work. That sound
Yeah, we don't like to cut any corners because in the long run, concrete's supposed to last for like at least 20, 25 years and
yeah,
stuff. And I don't want to have any calls later on, 2 years later. Hey, you got some settling here. If I see that, like there's where we go into talking about change orders.
mm-hmm,
Like if you see, sometimes it might be really, really hard on the top, but once you get to scratching, you might have a little spring, and then you keep digging, and then you got to take out more mud. You take out, and now you start taking out mud, and then you got to change it up, and now you got to go bring in gravel and stuff.
yeah,
We like to compact everything. We try to do everything as possible so we won't have any blowbacks and stuff like that, and do it up to the note as well.
yeah. How does that work? I mean, I know concrete. I've always heard concrete is guaranteed to crack, so it's hard to give a guarantee. But is there anything you offer, like, hey, if like you said, you don't want
Well,
any callbacks. If you get a callback 2 years later, do you just try to, since they were a good customer, try to go in there fix them up for a change of price
well,
or
like you said, the only guarantees that I give, the realistic guarantees I give before when I'm giving the estimate and I speak with the homeowner is there's two guarantees: concrete's always gonna crack,
yep,
and no one's gonna ever steal it.
yeah.
But and I disclose that in the contracts and stuff.
No one's gonna steal the concrete.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to take it out.
I love that. I love that.
And what we disclose in the contract is you're going to always have a crack,
Yeah.
but there's a difference between a shrinkage crack and a structural crack. Anything like if there's a structural crack, you have some settling or a crack more than a quarter, we come and warranty it ourselves, but within
Nice.
the year only,
Yeah.
Um, that's why we try to do everything. We compact, we dig out, we put some rebar, some wire, some mesh and stuff.
Yeah, you're trying to do everything to prevent that coming.
Minimize it,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah,
much
yeah,
as I can.
yeah. I mean, we talk about like cheap work becomes expensive work. So
cheap ain't always the best, and that's what I've
That
always told them. That when I go and give an
100%,
estimate,
100%.
the client will be like, "Well, this guy's gonna charge me. Maybe he'd be $1,000 cheaper." And
Yeah,
I'm like, cheap's not always the best way to
right.
go, because then you're gonna call me back. And
The
I
f-
have had like
yeah,
3, 4 customers call me right back to fix it, and then
and
it
you're
comes
like,
out double.
yeah, and you're like, I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I feel like showing up, man, showing up, being dependable. Um, showing up, being dependable, answering the phone, doing what you say you're gonna do. It means a lot, man. Because here's the thing: I've called, hey, like you got, I need an air conditioner, man. I need an electrician, whatever. Man, it was like pulling teeth just to get somebody to come out, man. So when I found somebody that did, I was like, "That's my dude. I'm locking on this dude." He came out, he did the job, he did a good job, he answered the phone. That's my guy. You know what I mean?
Yep. Same thing in concrete. I mean, you gotta care, because, like you just said, you were looking for an AC unit, and sometimes you're going through all these hoops to just get someone to come out to look at it.
Yeah,
We try to give the best customer service from the time that we answer the phone and set up an appointment to go look at your job. Time is of a essence. I like to
yeah,
be Time is everything to me.
yeah,
I'm always there on time, and if I tell you a certain time, I'm gonna be there at the certain time or 5 minutes earlier. And a lot of customers like that. They show that you care. They'll be like,
yeah,
"Well, there was like, I like that you got here early. I had customers, and they'd be like, and you're very thorough with everything and what you're gonna do." And then that's what they get at the end as
yeah.
well. They say you did everything you said you were gonna do.
Which that means a lot, man.
Yeah.
That means more than you can imagine, man. Yeah, and I feel like quality builds a good reputation, builds a good business. And if you do quality work for this guy, like you said, that neighbor's like, I want that, and goes all the way down. And then they recommend somebody who did your concrete, and then you keep continuing to do great jobs, man. People are just gonna keep calling you back.
Yep, and
Yeah,
that's how it is, especially when you pull up to a neighborhood, it's a nice neighborhood. Everyone wants to see what's going on over there, and some people get off or
yeah,
ask us for cars, or
yeah,
or they'll come by and they'll be like, "Hey, I live right down the street. Can you come down and give me an estimate?" And then
yeah.
you go from there. I had places where we go, neighborhood, and next thing you know, we're doing like 4 or 5 of them there.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed. I looked up your Google.
Hmm.
Man, you had over 275 reviews, all 5 star. To me, that felt like that was awesome. Like that's way more than anything I've looked at for a lot of people. I was like, dang, Jesus is bringing the noise, man. Now that's super proud of, man, because like not only did you have like you had that many, they were all 5 stars. Not one person was like, this dude, you know what I mean? So I mean that's something to be proud of, dude. That's legit.
Yeah, and that's hard to accomplish that, because you got to work with everyone. You got to treat
Yes.
everyone with respect. And
Yes.
if you're selling something, you got to sell what you say,
Yeah.
and make sure you give them the great customer care and customer service. And that's what we offer, is
Yeah.
great customer service. Hey, I answered the phone. There'll
Yeah.
be sometimes, you get a little call back. Hey, this is right here, Chip. You can't ignore. Some people get scared. They want to ignore it and be like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't." You don't
Yeah.
want to answer because you feel like they're gonna tell you something, like they're gonna yell at you. But you can't. In order to get good customer service, you gotta work with everyone.
Yeah, and even to me, man, to get that 5 star, even if you had to go back, your guy made a mistake. What something happened. You made the customer happy. You made money. You broke even. You didn't lose. Whatever. It's worth it in the long run for your reputation. When people are looking at it and they're like, I mean, for real, people live by that review. Now they're like, this dude's got 275. He's legit, man.
Everyone uses the internet now.
Yeah,
That's how, if hey, you want to know, like, if you want to get something, you look up Google, you type in, "I'm looking for this service,"
yeah,
and you want to buy a product, but you don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah,
Everyone goes straight to the review to
yeah,
see
yeah.
if it's legit or not.
Yeah, is the food good or not? Like, nah,
There you
some
go. I do
roaches
that at
or
a
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, yeah. But I looked, and I liked yours because people had posted Jesus was great, and they post some pictures, and I mean that gives people a good idea of what they're about to get into, man.
It's a reference. Like I
Yeah,
tell them, you know,
it was really good, man. I was impressed, man. Just so you know,
I appreciate it.
I was like, man, this is out there crushing it, bro. Um, I guess let's talk a little bit about family. I know your wife and her family and all good people. She's I'm gonna say she's a woman boss, you know what I mean? She's out there doing it like you and her together are a great team. What kind of sacrifices have you had to make in the business family? I know probably long hours, man. You can't be there like you want to be every night, but tell me something that's kind of you've had to sacrifice a little bit with the family.
Well, time with my wife and my kids, to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
it might seem like I put my business first, but that's something that's given us
You're
uh
you're providing for the family, man. You're the protector and the provider, bro.
yeah, and that's the biggest sacrifice that I have is time
Yeah,
that I miss birthdays, I miss school events. I mean, you can't make them all, and
yeah,
that's something you're gonna have to understand in this business. Concrete comes first because you really can't tell it, hey, you're gonna sit there and wait for me, I'm gonna go do this and come back.
yeah,
It's gotta get done
yeah,
regardless.
yeah. It's coming whether you like it or not, man.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I would say, how has owning a business changed your life? But I feel like it's probably giving you and your family a lot of a lot of things that, you know, to help you grow as a person and a family that you didn't have before.
Oh yeah, the business will give you all that stuff, but it comes with a lot of stress, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
responsibility,
Yes, sir.
and a lot of people counting on you as well.
Yeah,
Biggest part is the stress.
yeah.
Because
I feel that myself.
yeah,
Amen to that, bro. I feel that. I feel that too, man.
even when I'm at home, resting, I still got stress regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I wake up at 3 in the morning and be like, I forgot to order that part for Jesus,
I'm
man.
the same way.
I mean, I don't. It's in it. I mean, it's in us, man. Unfortunately, I wish it would leave my head so I could rest sometimes, but it does, man. It's like, dude, did I do that quote or did I remember to order that? Man, it does, man. It wakes me from a sleep, man.
Sometimes I'm up all day giving quotes, and then you're up late sending estimates. There's times that I'm sending estimates at 11, 12,
Yeah,
because I'm just so busy.
yeah,
But it gets done.
yeah,
I put everything, it gets done regardless that day or the next day.
yeah.
You got to get it done regardless.
Yeah, you're doing an awesome job, man. I mean, I'm over here like like your dad or something. I'm over here like I'm proud of you, man. For real. I've seen what you've done in just the years that I've known you in the business when you started, dude. And I mean, it's awesome. It's fun to watch. You know what I mean? Like when you see somebody kind of take it to the next level, man. I love watching stuff. I like watching success stories, man. So this is cool. Where do you want to take your company, man? What's the future of Prestige Worldwide?
The sky's the limit,
Yeah,
to be honest. As long as we just keep going up,
yeah,
I really don't have a stopping point or a breaking point. Maybe something my kids will handle later on that I get older. Right now, I'm just setting a foundation for them,
yeah.
and if they want to do that later on, they could take it from there. But
Yeah, I mean, do you look at expanding as far as like you look at add more crews, people, machines like to grow it? Or are you happy right where you're at and it's like this is all I want right now? You're so busy, or do you want to try to hire and a little bit more volume or what?
I think I'm happy where I'm at right
Yeah,
now, to be
that's good,
honest.
man. Be
Cause
content.
yeah, I think I'm happy where I'm at right now. I don't see myself, being like having too many crews, because that comes into more stress, more responsibility, more people you have to deal with, and right now than I deal with. I already deal with a good amount of people. So I'm good right here. I can. They say don't take more than what you can chew,
Yeah,
and I'm fine where I'm at.
yeah. What was that old saying? More money, more problems. But also, I feel like
Yeah,
more business, more problems, or more.
yeah,
You know what I mean? More people, more problems, man.
yep.
I'll attest to that. Um, any different services you want to expand? I know you do like I guess tell us what you do: grading, footings, flat work, um, decorative. Anything you want to add to that, or anything you looking to do?
Maybe within the next year, I'm looking into doing some land clearing, like mulching.
Okay.
Since we have all the equipment,
Yeah.
and we already have a reputation of grading and stuff, mulching will be like another extra.
Mm-hmm.
And that's well known. People want to clear a lot overgrown
Yeah.
forests and stuff. You go in there, mulch it down. I got to learn that business, but I mean,
Yeah.
learning it won't be hard. We already know how to operate, use machinery and stuff. It'll just be getting into that market.
Yeah. Do you ever people ever say, "Hey, can you do a like a landscaping type? Y'all do fireplaces and hey, can you build me a bar or whatever you call it, like a
So yeah, we don't just do what prestige concrete and grading. I do masonry. So we do from foundations. We do fire
you
pits,
do all that?
stonework. Yeah, anything with masonry in it, we do it. We do outside kitchens, living spaces, chimneys. We do it all as well.
That's right.
Retaining walls and
Yeah.
all that.
I seen some stonework you did at your house, man. I was like, this man,
Yeah.
he's like a stone mate. He does it all, man. No, so that's good. That's good to know because I feel like nowadays I deal with some landscapers and they went from cutting grass to like they getting into decorative concrete to doing the backyards. You know what I mean? So I was like, I feel like that's a good business because um, I know I mean I think everybody wants that now. Kind of like living space outdoors is kind of where people want to be. You know, like the family out there barbecuing or whatever.
Yeah, you want to make your house look good. You don't want to be trapped inside all day in your house. You want to get
Right.
some fresh air and then have somewhere nice to sit at. Enjoy your living space outside.
Yeah. Any advice you got, man, for the up and comers, the young Jesuses of tomorrow that are like working somewhere now and they're like, man, I want to start my own business, man.
Consistency. Consistency is key.
Okay.
That's the one good advice I would give. There's a lot of sunshine for everyone.
Yeah. I say that all the time, man. Even I feel like in our business, there's so many competitors, but I mean everybody's still in business. I feel like there's enough work out there, as well as you guys. There's enough work for everybody, you know?
Yeah, like I said, the sun shines bright for everyone. So it's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing for like roofers. Everyone does roofing, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
work for roofers.
Yeah, right, right.
Everyone does painting.
Yeah,
It's like every job you get into. I mean, because the work is never gonna end. To be honest with you.
right. Um, though I guess those looking to those kind of afraid, man, to take that leap of faith to be a business owner, to go out on their own and do it, man. What would you do? What would you any kind of like inspiration be like, man? What I guess what pushed you out of that comfort zone? Was it your wife? Was it I mean, I know you said I can do it and I want to do my own. I want to be my I want to make things happen, but what would you tell somebody looking to do that, man?
To be honest, I never really even thought about being in the business. I like working. I love working. I enjoy what I do regardless. But I never my wife pushed me to do it because she saw that I would be good at things I would do. I'll show her pictures through the day. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm doing this. This is what I did today." She'll be
Yeah.
like, "Well, why don't you just do your own thing?" So
Yeah.
she was part of it, and then I will see other concrete companies, I would work for. They have some nice trucks, some nice equipment and stuff. And I've always been a fan of having a nice truck, having nice equipment, or having my own stuff.
Yeah.
So it made me go towards that way, maybe I want to have a nice big piece of land. That's what pushed me to, getting into that like that. Mostly my family is what pushed me to do it after, started my family with my wife.
Yeah.
To provide, to be able to provide, because living check by check, it wasn't gonna cut it.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, man, any questions you got for me?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time, man, out of your day to come be on the podcast. I think you gave some super, super good information, man, for people starting out, for small business, for I don't know a lot, man. A lot of questions I had, they were you got great answers, man. And I'm happy for your success, and I hope more success for you. And I love doing business with you. I appreciate it, and I really like you because you pay your bills like a champion, which is awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's doing business, man. And people say what they're gonna do what they say they're gonna do means a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
But
And I like doing business with you too, Chris.
yeah, man.
I've known you for years since,
Yeah,
I
man.
was a young guy, and I met you when you was over there at Eminem,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
now look at you.
yeah,
You got your own spot, your own building, you're doing
yeah.
great things, and I like to network with people like you.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, man, taking the time and appreciate you coming out.
I appreciate you for having me on the podcast.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we hope all for all your residential needs, everybody goes and sees you, man, and do some big things.
We're going to try.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir.